you have any OJ run-ins?
I saw him that week.
Subscribe to the podcast, KFC Radio on YouTube.
Bang.
Oh God, the name dropping and everything.
So am I.
Yeah.
I'm
Big deal.
427. All right. Talk to you later. Gotta go.
I love it. Love it.
I don't know how these people show up. Anyway, it's good to be back.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
We cleaned for you.
I know. We did. I know. We started off on the bad chair.
Yeah.
Then you left that place.
Right.
And you came to a brand spanking new space, which is this, which I was there. Have you been here like 3 years?
Something like that. Probably like
3 years was the last time I was here, and it's brand spanking new. And now after 3 years, this is a shithole.
Well, we walked in and saw this place, and I was like, whoa, this is the cleanest it's been probably in since we walked in.
Today?
This is as clean as it gets.
Are you guys all tested and everything?
Yeah, we're all good.
We're
Boosted,
good.
double vax, the whole nine.
Me too.
We scrubbed the
just wanna make
table
sure.
down.
This is
We
my
cleaned
first
up.
time back in New York since I probably was on your show. Yeah, I haven't been anywhere. I've been locked away.
I mean, well, for someone like yourself, it's got to be even worse with everything. But
I
remember we did this. I think we zoomed with you at one point, and you were like, "This is how I live all the time."
Right.
Which
Yeah.
was
For you, it's fine. It's
Well, it was hard. I actually got COVID. And recently, like a few weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
For the first time. And that was the hardest part for me. I didn't feel bad because have you guys got it? Did you get it?
I got it.
Did you get it
I got my ass kicked. Yeah.
Yeah, I got
I got
Did you
it.
get it before the boost?
No,
before
I got it pretty recently. And when everyone else was getting Omicron and we're like, it's not great, but I'm fine. I think either I don't have a great immune system or whatever, or I must have got the last bit of Delta because I got wiped out.
Did you go to the hospital?
No, well, I shouldn't say that. Yeah, I wasn't on a ventilator or anything like that. Crazy, but I was bad for 4 solid days of really bad, and then it lingered, and then for 10 days I had that. I always heard people talk about a fog. I was in a fog, and I was like, what does that really mean? And then I realized it's I was lethargic. I just couldn't get going. Everything felt like a Herculean task, and that lasted a little while.
I didn't have that.
Yeah.
Anyway, the thing that I had was just being locked away. I didn't like to be locked away. My wife and I are not youngsters, so when I tested positive, and I only knew that I tested. I wasn't that sick. I had a little bit of a sniffle and a cough, but because I was doing AGT, which premieres on the 31st. But who are you pointing at?
The cameras.
Oh, okay, all right. I thought you saw somebody I didn't. I got scared.
You don't see him right there. Yeah.
So anyway, but I got locked away because I didn't want to go near my wife didn't want me near her, and then for 10 days I was in a room by myself, which is not a good thing. I don't like being by myself anywhere. I don't like eating alone. I don't like quiet. I need distraction. And for 10 days, nothing but fucking me. And nobody was fucking me. I was fucking myself. I was fucking myself in my head. And the highlight of the day is opening the door to the room. My wife would leave it like a cookie.
It's you're in prison, man.
I have a cookie.
Slide it under the door.
Yeah, but I went nuts. I went to the deepest, darkest I've been in a decade.
You live out in California, right?
Yeah.
Couldn't you just kind of hang out in the backyard? Just
I went outside, and I went outside. I did. I was trying things. I didn't go because I didn't want to pass her. So there's a little balcony in the room. So I sat out sometimes. I sat on the balcony by myself. So it was just like being in the room, but brighter. It wasn't. I played hide and go seek alone. I did that once.
Did you watch a lot of TV?
Every fucking thing.
Every show.
Okay, see that. I liked. I was when I was locked away. I got it. I hosted a super spreader event.
Is that what it said on the invitation?
It was. I had to go on vacation with all my friends every winter, and I got tested right before I went. But then I guess I tested negative, and then the next day I showed up, and I just gave everyone COVID. But at first we thought
women, children.
We thought I hadn't intermingled enough.
Right?
Yeah. There were babies there, everyone, and
you licked.
Yeah.
Babies.
It was just kissing them was crazy. They didn't it was nuts. But I just said so they just locked me in my room. And I watched everything, and it was unbelievable.
Glorious, right?
I usually don't like being alone with myself, which
Well, the truth of the matter is, I like noise. I don't like quiet. The TV is on 24/7 in my house. I watch everything. It doesn't even have to be English for me to watch it. So watching TV.
Wait on.
What?
What was that?
What was what?
You watch? Are there subtitles?
No. I love when the
Do
thing
you
about
know the other languages?
No.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, you were just gonna try and slide that in that you
shows that you don't know what's going on in them.
That's what I find that fascinating. Everything becomes a game show to me. It's like, what the fuck is this? What are they doing?
Howie
Is
Mandel, this is
a
one of the
game?
craziest things I've ever heard in my
I'm on
life.
season 4 of the show.
I mean, if you had
on.
the subtitles on, yeah, I get that.
I like to try to figure out what's going on. I'm just fascinated by anybody that's standing in front of a camera and saying anything. I sometimes don't even. I'm not aware of what language it is. You know, but I swear to you, and I will spend. My wife will walk in the room and say, "Is this still fucking on? Like, haven't you?" And I go, I haven't figured out what it is.
She's like, put on the subtitles.
Yeah, put on the American version, you idiot.
I don't want to read. I said I like to watch.
I actually just watched Tokyo Vice recently, which is a new show on HBO Max, and it's fantastic. But even that it's a lot of Japanese, and they had subtitles, but even with the subtitles, it was hard to.
Well, did you watch Squid Games with the subtitles
Yeah.
or in English?
No subtitles.
Really?
Yeah,
Everybody says that was better.
I couldn't do the dubs.
You know what? The dubs are like. I mean, you've done voiceover stuff before.
I do a lot of it.
Like, what is? I feel like when I watch those shows with voiceover, I
Right.
can tell.
That's a
that they're
voiceover.
voicing it over,
but even a
like-
good performance becomes a piece of shit, and that's
Right.
what I love about it. Somebody who doesn't really speak the language. You know, I did the movie Gremlins.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm Gizmo.
Yeah.
In Gremlins. But what was really funny about that is, you know, so Gizmo. I don't know if we talked about this before, but
No.
Gizmo. You know, that's the sound.
You did Little Monsters, and you were in Little Monsters, right?
Yeah, so-
and Gremlins.
Is that a conflict of interest
No,
in
that's
your mind?
awesome. I mean,
Well,
I
one
knew
I
about
was
Little
there
Monsters.
for, but one is just a voiceover.
The whole time That's amazing. You were part of like the 2 biggest Little Monsters.
Yeah, I
fucking
mean, you are
things
so
in the
fucking
80s.
lucky to have me on this.
Absolutely. Wait, do the
broadcast.
voice again.
And Little Monsters was just my voice. Right?
Yeah,
Maurice.
yeah.
But so I did that. But you
How
know,
much you
and-
get paid to just go?
but that's the thing. So you know, and he would do things like we would it would come up a little like you couldn't turn it. Light bright. You know, that was a light bright. You know,
Yeah.
really kind of. You know, it was a cuckamugwai, like the bad mugwais, right? But what happened was that movie was so big and it was such an international hit that they had me dub it. It's not English to begin with.
Right.
They had me dub it in other languages.
Did you do different sounds?
Different sounds. So like
So you would say
Germany.
light bright in
well, not
German?
really, but it had to sound because
instead of
so the Germany was
wow.
you know, and then
But it makes sense.
You had to get that
you know,
guttural.
or that was more in the
Japanese or
Asian
whatever, yeah.
in the Asian
No
culture.
way.
But I would have to
Tell you
do
what,
the
that
whole
sounds
movie.
racist to me.
I was gonna say,
I know,
It
wasn't my
Ching
idea.
chong, wing wong. It's like, whoa, you can't do
No,
that.
but it wasn't my idea. I'm telling you, they came
That's
in, and it was so
amazing.
that you would subliminally, as a kid watching that movie, you
Yeah.
would kind of like understand, and he was speaking to you.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
there are
I get it.
sounds that are specifically American.
Yeah.
That sound right for Americans,
Everything.
but mean nothing to.
Throw in a for Canada or an in it
Yeah.
for over in the UK. Or, A?
Did you have to decide what you were gonna say, or were you told like, all right, this is the one? Like,
No, Joe Dante was actually sitting there. He's a director. He was actually sitting there with me, going, you know, is there something you could say? I want to hear like light in it. I want to hear but I don't want you to say light. I just want to. It was so
So, like,
serious.
like framework.
What
but-
a
Yeah,
weird.
that's
It was
funny.
kind of a weird. You know, I auditioned.
Well, that was my next question. Are there 2 guys in the room going, and the other guy goes like, well, no, I go like,
Yes.
Yeah.
like you go.
So
and you
the
were the
thing-
best one.
Well, the thing was that my buddy Frank Welker, who is the Mel Blanc of my generation, you know, he was everybody you can ever. I think he was Jughead on Scooby Doo, and I think he was Jughead, but he's been a million voices
Right.
on everything. And on Bobby's World, he was like Roger. He does all these animals. He said, "Howie, you do these noises. I'm doing this movie with Joe Dante. You should come in and audition." And there was an audition in just a nondescript building in Burbank, California. And there was the 2 offices there was one, I didn't know this going upstairs, but one was a casting office where the person took out just temporary space. And the next office to it was an OBGYN or a gynecologist or something. So as I went upstairs, I hear, oh, not in a man's voice. And I'm going, well, I can do better than that.
Overactor.
Gizmo never said, my uterus.
It's a big speculum.
So you
Speculum, wow. A lot of people don't know that.
Oh. John knows it for other reasons.
You know it? Well, you have it in the ass? Did you have a speculum in your ass?
Other people have.
You know
and
what
he's
people don't
watched
know?
that quite a
I've seen
bit.
other people do it though.
Oh, you know
Howie.
it was weird? 'Cause I always thought the speculum was kind of a funny instrument. For those that don't know, the speculum, do they know? Your audience knows.
Our audience has an idea.
Yeah, our diehards know what we're talking about.
It's like a it looks like a robot Daffy Duck. It's got a big metal
Yeah,
beak,
yeah.
and it's open
like
and
two
say,
Pringles stuck together.
It's like Pringles. It is. So for women to be examined, but I was on a show in the 80s called Saint Elsewhere, and it was a hospital show. I played a doctor for 6 years. That's where Denzel Washington came out of. That was his first job. There was a lot of great.
St. Nelson was a big one.
It was a big show, but most people that are listening to this probably have never heard of it.
Yeah, no.
But anyway, I played a character called Fiscus, and I was the emergency room doctor. And I had said to the prop guy, just give me a speculum. So if you look at any episode of St. Elsewhere, I'm wearing like a utility belt with like I have my stethoscope, I have a pen, I have a thermometer, and I have a speculum. There's no reason that I would ever have a speculum, but I carried it in
What an
almost
idiot you are.
in every episode.
I
What
think
an
that's
idiot.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
Just
Give me the hole opener.
But I used to use it like they would cut, and then I'd have the speculum, and then that's when I started doing voices. I would just do it with the speculum.
So wait, how far along were you like established by the time you did Gremlins, or was you were like kind of like a?
That was in the midst of that was '87. So yeah, I had been on the full run of St. Elsewhere. Ended in '87. I had done, but I'd been doing voices. I did the first voice I got onto was the Muppet Babies. Remember the Muppet Babies?
Sure.
So I was Skeeter on the Muppet Babies, which is Scooter's little sister. Skeeter talk like this. Damn. Same voice. Talking about why?
Yeah, you're a one-trick pony.
I am, because I don't know if you ever heard Bobby's World.
Yeah, same sort of
Bobby. Same voice.
You just do this every time.
Every time. I have a whole career. One fucking voice. I had a career.
Is it hard for you to do it like extended, or you could do that?
No,
like,
this is easier to do than to talk.
that one's creepy.
Talk.
You know why? Because all it is you know how you take the nipple of a balloon, if you blow up a balloon and you stretch out the nipple and it goes,
Yeah.
when you're pushing the air out?
Yeah.
It
That's
just
what you're
makes
doing,
that
yeah.
sound. All I'm doing, if I lose my voice completely, that's just me closing my throat
Mm-hmm.
and then if I loosen it, I can change tones. And that's on the Muppet Babies, I was Bunsen Honeydew, which is basically the same voice but loosened.
Yeah.
So I used to go,
If you don't listen to me, I'll make your sister disappear.
so an animal.
Go bye-bye.
Oh my God, you're like, I mean, you do everything.
I did everything with one voice.
Yeah, right. Like
Yes.
on the same show, you're doing the same voice, and then like nobody notices.
But I talk about it in my act. That voice is before I was on television, before I even aspired to be a comedian, before I wanted to be in show business. I could do that voice.
Yeah.
I originally talk about it in my act that I was choking on a piece of cake, and that's how I found out. I'm going,
Help me.
I couldn't, and everybody's laughing, and I realized this is a career. So, but I used to go to the emergency room of the hospital. And I used to go up to the admitting desk and go to any.
Can I please speak to a doctor?
This is like from my act, and she would always go like, "What's the problem?"
What do you mean, what's the problem? I was at a birthday party. I wasn't the only one doing this. They had the helium balloons. Everybody took the helium balloons. They untied the balloon. They sucked in the helium, and everybody went, hoo-hoo, ha-ha, listen to me, not funny. This was 2.5 weeks ago. I am really, really concerned.
Amazing. That's such a great little party trick to do. Like,
I did that once
great.
with the helium balloons at the party, and I passed out. That was
Really?
No.
Yeah, I
What a pussy you are.
I blacked out. I mean, I was huffing a lot.
I was gonna
helium. Dude, I was.
Did you have the canister?
I was huffing helium.
Oh, and everybody's
Call 911. Call 911. He's out.
Like it was like a full blackout.
like everybody
fall,
else,
boom.
everybody on the party on the phone.
I'd like to report there is somebody unconscious. We're at a party. You
Like,
need to
sir,
get
this is
in.
911. Can you please be serious? I am, I swear.
I am. We're at a party. There's a guy. He's unconscious. He's got weird knees. They look like faces. Even the faces on his knees look like they passed out.
Man, that's great. I mean, Gremlins is has such a spot in my heart.
Oh,
Like that is
thank you.
amazing.
Thank you.
Gizmo, dude.
But you know what I'm doing now? I'm real excited about what I'm doing now.
Well, which one of your
Bullshit?
20 projects? Bullshit? Bullshit's incredible.
Bullshit is amazing.
Bullshit
Bullshit is
when
my
I-
favorite thing that I've ever done.
You know what they
Bullshit's
you know what they
so
did
hard.
a really good job of is that
Not hard.
It's so hard.
no, then you're playing wrong.
I
No, the truth
Well,
is
you are
this.
an idiot. So.
But here's the point. The point of Bullshit, which is on Netflix. The point of when they called me and they said, we're going to do the show called Bullshit. And I go, what is it? And they go, like, it's a trivia show. I went, fuck it. No. I'm not interested in trivia. I don't have a GED. I don't watch Jeopardy. I don't want to be a host that just reads questions. When we were designing it, my buddy David Friedman, who was the architect of this whole show, was amazing because what we did is we said we have to make the questions hard. Like, there's no way you need to know that you should know the answer because then that just ruins the whole fucking game. The question is, does the person who's answering know the answer?
Right.
Is
So,
it
so wait,
bullshit?
so set it up for the people who haven't seen it
Okay,
yet. There's
so it's a trivia game. Think of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. There's 10. What happens is I ask a question with like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with 4 options, A, B, C, or D. At the moment that you have to answer, you will answer the question by clicking your answer, A, B, C, or D, into an iPad, basically. As soon as you click it in, you see, as the person who answered, whether you're right or wrong. Nobody else knows. If you are
I missed
right,
that part.
pardon me.
I missed
You
that
idiot.
Well, right, it is so fucking hard for you. That's why it's so
You didn't
fucking
know?
hard.
That's a pretty important part.
Yeah,
That's so
isn't that
funny.
that's the whole?
John, you missed the whole premise.
I missed that part. That part makes it easier.
Okay, so
That
now
part makes
now-
what easier?
that,
the
if,
game
if
show.
I was saying if that's bullshit or not, because it's like they're
No, so there's 3 other people, and they're bullshit detectors, and they're vying to. Who's ever answering the question is trying to go up the ladder to $1 million. When you click in the answer, if the answer, and they're really hard questions, but,
really hard.
Yeah.
sometimes the odd person knows it.
Yeah,
if they know it, they answer it, and they tell you this is the answer, and this is why I know it's the answer. The 3 bullshit detectors get to say whether they think it's bullshit, you're bullshitting, or they think you're telling the truth and you really
Right.
know it. And they click it in. It behooves them to call bullshit when it's bullshit, or say it's the truth when they really believe it's the truth, because at the end of the person's game that's answering the questions, whoever was the most accurate will move into the $1 million seat. Did you understand that part?
I got that part because I watched enough to see it happen. I got that part.
Okay,
So the contestant trying for $1 million will get the boot from a bullshitter if the bullshitter has it better.
Well, here's it. If you don't know the answer and you bullshit about the answer, and all 3 bullshit detectors call bullshit, you're out.
Okay.
But if you bullshit and even one of them believes you, and they want to be the most accurate. If they say, "Oh yeah, this makes sense. This guy knows what he's talking about. This is exactly what it is," and he calls truth, and it's bullshit, you still win the money.
Cool.
So people go up and
So it's about trivia, but it's also about your ability to
like
bullshit
poker.
and read
Yeah,
people.
right.
Yeah,
It's about poker. It's
love
like all in.
It's
because
so
you
fast,
could
though.
you could be smart, but you could be better at lying and convincing. And
Well,
and
listen,
that,
ultimately, the
it's
people
kind of a
playing-
street smart, book smart sort of thing. If you have the best combination of both, you're gonna
But
dominate this.
It
game.
is possible. Here, spoiler alert: we did give away the $1 million.
Oh.
Okay, it took me 4 years to give it away on Deal or No Deal. Number one, and the person that got the $1 million did not know a lot of the answers. So the point is, you're only rewarded for being a really good bullshitter.
Liar, yeah.
Yeah.
So how many?
and it's hard, dude. Like I don't know how much time elapses in real time, but like they're spinning tails fast.
They have to.
They're, like really, really fast.
So
Like,
that's the
about
thing.
why they got it right.
I'm sorry?
About why they got it right. They're able to come up with bullshit.
Oh, no,
well, that's the
but
thing.
why they gave the answer, whether it's a lie.
Right, but the
Yeah,
bullshit
yeah.
detector is watching everything, like everything from.
The hand
so when
movements
you
to
press, you go. The answer is C. They go. I saw when C came. So that'll, if C's wrong, it'll go red right away. So they'll go. I saw when you click the answer. I saw you look like you were taken aback.
So you got to watch
But
the body language, and
the
the, way
body
you talk
language.
and the way
And then what happens is the contestant picks that up, so they go, if they're able to stay in the game and go up, they will be taken aback at every answer.
Yeah.
Just so that you can't
Love
read them.
it.
And they lie about what they do. Like somebody, I'll say, "What do you do?" And they'll go, I have a PhD
Yeah.
in science and
Yeah,
things like
I'm a
that.
rocket
So now you're
scientist,
thinking,
I'm
well, I don't know if that's true, but if he is, he should know this.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they could also lie about that either. Like
They can lie. You just come.
You could also lie the other
science.
direction, right?
Yeah, now
I think that guy was telling the truth. He was a scientist, but he didn't do well.
He didn't do well at all, but he was like, because I forget, even the first question of the whole show is like, that's what sets the tone. I was like, oh, this is hard as shit. It's Thomas Edison. What nickname did he give his two kids?
Yeah, but why would you even know that?
Right.
Like, why would?
I was like, this is $1,000 question. This is really hard. But now when you
But
get
you
to watch-
would believe that Thomas Edison, somebody who the producers are really smart in putting that question. This guy was a major. He's a what was it? Physics or
Yeah,
So
something
that
like
guy
didn't-
should know it.
So he might know
Right,
it.
right.
You don't have to know it.
Right.
But do you think he knows it? And does he seem confident when he's telling you this? And does he tell you even more information to prove to you that he knows that?
Yeah, he was going overboard with information.
See, so you were able to.
If
So it's
I-
about
if I
reading
knew-
bullshit. But
Yeah.
the truth of the matter is, like, even if you go on a first date, everything, how you're acting
Sure.
and what you're saying is. I've been married for 42 years. It is nothing like the first date.
Right.
No, yeah, it's not even
Nothing.
close.
You don't
That
get to
was
the
all
truth
bullshit.
at least 6 months to a year before I start telling
No,
you
you-
any
it-
kind of truth
No,
about.
as far as I'll just go by my own. Next year, I'm going to be honest. It's going to be
No,
year 43.
You're trying to convince someone to get naked and let them inside. You go inside of them. You're going to be telling them all sorts of fucking preposterous things.
That's why you have the speculum. Dating. Now it's all full circle.
Howie, I fucking wish, bud.
Only on birthdays and Christmas.
Are you on dating apps?
I am not on dating apps. I have a.
I've never been on a dating app.
I had Tinder like when Tinder first started, probably 8-10 years ago, and I never met anyone from it. I would just go on it and fuck around a little bit. But I have a.
John, like, borderline, he didn't invent, but he popularized Tinder. I think Tinder.
You popularized
Tinder is
Tinder?
where it's at today. It was probably going to succeed, but I think it exploded
Before
because
it
of
was
John.
big? You were
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, they.
John came up with the best pickup line ever.
What was it?
It worked it worked crazy well. Just how many push-ups can you do? And you'd ask the girls. No one ever asks girls how many push-ups they can do.
And look at you. Today you are still single. It is amazing how you popularized. It's amazing.
Well, you know what?
Who would have thought of that line?
Depends on what you're
ladies
using
in the
for-
time frame.
I was gonna say it depends on what you're using Tinder for anyway. No one's on Tinder to try to not be.
You're
single.
married? Are you married?
I'm divorced.
Wow. Even before being married.
Yeah,
That's- what a way to start a relationship.
Because I wasn't. It wasn't really that big of a thing before I met her. So then I was married. Like,
Is that
during-
through an app? Is there like a divorce app?
Yeah.
I want to divorce somebody. I want somebody who wants to leave me. I want somebody who can't stand me. I want somebody to take
tell you,
half of everything I
It
own.
would have been a lot easier if we both just logged on to some app.
That's
and
called
clicked, like,
Splinter.
Divorce, and then you're done.
I'm on
Tinder
Splinter.
and Splinter.
I'm on Splinter. What you do is just rip half
Brilliant.
of my life away.
Brilliant. Fucking
Yes.
brilliant.
How many
I love it.
push-ups can you do?
But when it first came out, he was in Boston, so it was like all around New England. Like every girl was like, "Why are people asking me how many push-ups I can do?" And it got to the point where girls would reply like, "I read Barstool Sports also." Everybody knew it was coming from him.
I'm listening to you. I think you live in your own bubble. I don't think it took off. My son is a big on the day because I never.
You don't
heard
think
it.
Tinder took off?
No, the push-up. Line.
Oh, it did.
Oh,
like
no,
it was like
10 years
8,
ago.
10 years ago.
Like when
Oh,
Tinder
it's-
very first came out, before it was like a thing.
I was talking this morning. My son.
Fuck you, Howie.
My son.
I'm looking at you right now, and I think you're dead wrong. Shut the fuck up, Mandel.
My son, Alex Mandel, who is also single. I was just talking about him this morning. His sisters put him on all these apps, but and then they answer and fuck with him. So then they think it's him, and he gets in trouble. But he doesn't. He's having a good time.
That's why I don't use them. I have a deep-seated fear of like screenshots being put like, this is what Feidelberg says on dating apps,
Yeah.
and like
It's
people being
grimy
like,
out there.
People being like, your game sucks and
Yeah.
all that stuff. I'd rather die alone, dude. I'd rather die alone than be embarrassed for
I was
one
telling
day
you
on
this
the
morning,
internet.
my son has a
You're in the wrong business, homie.
my son has a what's it called? Like a model rescue service. He's got like
service.
yeah. He will take like wounded models and then bring them in and nurse them back to health and then release them back out into the wilds. It's like a model waste station.
That's good work if you can get it.
He's got it. He does it. Alex Mandel. He's doing really good.
Is he hiring? I'll fucking help out that job.
Maybe you can. He needs somebody to feed them.
I can build them Legos or something.
What does that even mean?
It's an inside joke.
It's not.
But if you got to share,
It's not an inside. So
as
this
broadcasters, inside jokes aren't the best thing.
It's not an inside joke with just us. It's a. So there was.
Yeah, I know. This is big, like how you blew up Tinder.
Yeah.
Legos.
You're just
didn't-
the only loser who doesn't know, Howie. So
We made Legos popular.
Many.
Speculums, Legos, and Tinder. Barstool Sports.
So you put those three things together, you got a
And you
fucking
got
hell of
a
a
fucking
night.
party.
Yeah.
Dream date.
No, many years ago, a
gonna be a
porn
good-
star named Christy Mack. You may have heard of her. You may not have.
I haven't, but-
She's quite popular. She tweeted, "Anyone who brings me Legos, I'll give them a blowjob." So
Really?
And she was at a bar in
and
Boston.
she happened to be in Boston at the time. So I put together a bunch of Legos and I brought them to her.
Yeah.
And this is a long time ago. And then just last night, she was with the comedian Bert Kreischer, who's a friend of ours.
I love Bert.
And she was with him, and he was telling her, he's like, I know Feidelberg who brought you Legos.
we had told him the story, so he knew.
Right.
And had brought you Legos years ago, and she remembered me. But
Did she blow you?
She did not blow me. No.
Why?
No, that's what I said.
Well,
Oh,
you'll
you didn't
find
put
out
them
why.
together.
No,
You
I
didn't
didn't.
put-
No, I put them together.
What did you
A
build?
car and a dog.
Yeah, a car and a dog. And I thought it was like this fun little thing. And on the video,
Legos or blowjobs?
mostly Legos. Blowjobs, I was terrified. I was like, she might actually suck my dick. This is scary. Like, what if his porn star wants to give me a blowjob? And
So
like,
You know what? When you think about it, the fact that you are just inserting your dick into her mouth is kind of like a human Lego.
Lego.
And if she
Put it together,
if she
take it
bite-
apart. Put it together, take it apart.
And if she bites down too hard, you're screaming Lego.
Brilliant.
that was a good one. That was a good one.
That was a good one. Thank you. I've been here for 20 minutes. It's the first time they went good one.
Running bits on us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? But she
Boom.
in the video, she was like, "I'm not really gonna suck your dick." She said, "I have to talk to my lawyers."
to my lawyers
but she was
first.
pretty.
Boy,
she
brings
was
a
pretty.
legal team with her to for a blowjob.
Guess so. You would think if there's one thing that she doesn't, but she. In the video, it seemed like fine. She was laughing, whatever. But then we got this new video last night from Bert on his tour bus where she was like, "Yeah, that fucking loser."
She was like, she's like, he should be embarrassed. That was pathetic. Like, she was really mean to me.
So for like the last like
About
decade.
the car and the
About the
dog?
car and the
Is that
dog.
what she's talking about?
yeah.
So now we like this whole time we thought like, all right, she didn't blow him, but it was like, hey, that was funny. You met Christy, and all these years she was like, that guy sucks.
Such a loser.
I showed.
such a
I had Bert
baby.
Kreischer at my office the other day,
ball.
and I'm doing this thing with holograms. I love holograms.
Yeah.
Well, because I want to figure out how to go everywhere without actually going anywhere.
Are we
Like
talking
that.
like Star Trek holodeck type
It's
stuff?
pretty amazing, and I showed it to Bert, and
Is
Bert
this
said
becoming a thing? Like
it
real?
will be. Bert, I want to do this tour with Bert, where have a beer with Bert. He can be anywhere, but he's not there, but live, and you can interact.
Bro, this
Go
is,
on. I'm telling. I'll show
you
you.
have to
this
wear
thing.
like goggles.
No, I'll show you this thing.
I have been my whole life since
Yeah.
I'm a Star Trek. I'm a nerd. I watch Star Trek. The holodeck was like I hope I live long enough for that to be a thing.
It is a thing. Look
I
at
mean, I would
this.
never go anywhere or see anybody ever again if it
Here
was
it
a
is.
thing.
This is in my office now. And
How
Chris
is
is
such like a trailblazer, like pioneer of all this weird shit?
How do
Yeah.
you do so much? What do you?
How-
Why do you do
Watch.
so much, dude?
So I can be someplace. Watch this. I can be someplace. Watch. Wait, Howie Mandel here, but this is in my look. And then this goes, and this could be here in New York. I can see you in real time, talk to you. It's the proto hologram. Look it up on Instagram. Proto hologram.
So wait. Well, I'm looking at a screen to see you.
You're looking at a camera and a screen. Yes, yeah. You'll see what in the hologram in the proto. It's this big box which is life size. They have it at Christie's here.
So
We
like
get-
I would have a box in my room, and your thing would appear there 3D. you would look like 3D.
Yeah, we have one at Christie's
sick.
now. Christie's, that's how they're selling their art. They're selling NFTs
Right,
off of it,
right, I heard
proto hologram. But I sit on the board. Diddy is on the board of this thing. Anything that I can go to without going to, you got to see it. So Bert came in and did my podcast. Howie Mandel does stuff wherever podcasts are available.
Instead of doing like Zoom guests, you can
no,
do
not
hologram.
Zoom, and they're
hologram
here.
guests.
They're here
right.
when we're off.
So
I'll show
rather
you
than,
one with
do
people
a call,
interacting
do
with
a Zoom, do even in person. I'd rather talk to the hologram, Howie. I don't have to get you in here.
No,
and make
but
fun
the
of our
thing is,
office.
I can see you.
Yeah.
The hologram can see you.
Yeah.
There's no latency. It's in real time. It's not a phone call. It's like 3D.
Yeah.
It's right there. And
Now, do both people have to have a box? Or like,
No.
Yeah, you can just have it and I'll
No.
watch it, and you would then see me on a regular screen if I didn't have a box.
no, you go to where the box is. So I can send the box to a theater. We just did a live concert with 10,000 people. Diddy just went to 9 cities to introduce his new tequila. Ellen just did it. Like it's
So wait,
really catching on, and I think I'm going to have it at Just for Laughs this year. You know, I do Just for Laughs.
yeah.
Remember
you guys ever
when
go up there? You should do your show from
yeah,
up
we
there.
haven't done it yet.
We haven't.
You
done that.
should.
Yeah. I feel like it's, more comics, like stand-up comedians, as opposed to live podcasts, though.
There's a lot of live
Are
podcasts,
there?
and why don't
Like
you
they
talk
don't-
to? Do you ever talk to comedians?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, like every fucking day, Howie.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I hate you. You're my new sworn enemy. Ken Jeong off the list. Howie Mandel top. But wait, I'm not understanding. So remember when like Tupac holograms were performing on
So
stage?
these
How
people
is
are the
that
same.
different?
So these are the same people, but that Tupac thing was. It's called what that technology is called is Pepper's Ghost. If you've ever been to Disneyland and you've been in the haunted house,
Yeah.
it's kind of that same thing where they have this screen that they project. So you need to have that big scrim
Got
in
it.
front of you. This is very different. This is a box that, whether it's at a theater, whether we put it in a bar and you have a beer with Bert, or Bert
with
also
Bert.
liked it because you can, we can
This is
resurrect
fascinating.
people who are dead.
Yeah.
He wants to do it he said he wants to do it at his funeral and just talk to everybody.
Yeah.
That's what Bert said on the
Well,
podcast.
okay, so I'm asking so many questions here, but like,
Okay.
if it is wildly expensive,
No.
and if so, you have the box, and if you want to reach a consumer
So
or
we
a fan,
do. So you can,
you know?
if you're like Christie's, you can buy the box, rent the
Right.
box. If you're a comedian, you can, the cost of the box and sending the box to whatever theaters or clubs you want to go
Yeah.
to is probably just as expensive if you wanted. Bert's renting a bus
Yeah,
or
sure.
a plane,
Right,
and
so
all
you
these
could just
people
sit at
on the
home
road.
and do the-
He could sit at home and he could do all the shows and interact with the people like he's just there. Proto.
Can you do
Remember
one-
that name?
One person right now?
What?
Is it only like one box, one person?
No, you can put
do,
multiple
like-
people in a
yeah.
box. They used it.
What's in the box?
They used it on Fashion Week here in New York. They had they showed lines and did fashion shows on it. You can sell NFTs. It was at Art Basel in Miami.
The question is, when
exploding.
does it make it to porn?
I think it might be there. I'm just not promoting.
Porn's
it.
always ahead of the curve.
that is true. Porn was on 4D, like way
Really,
too
really.
early.
What is 4D?
I meant to say 3D, but the
Well, I think the fourth is you smell it.
4D.
It's 3-dimensional with an odor.
I'd be into that. I love smell a little porn.
Your phone just.
The 4D. No, they do the 4D at the movies, which I hate. That
The
I can't
rumbling
stand
in the
that.
chair and stuff?
Yeah, with
Yeah,
the chair. It's
Oh
like
no! I got to tell you, that freaked me. I live in California, so I went to see the first
Thought it was
4D
an
movie.
earthquake?
I thought every fucking minute, I thought this is not the movie.
No, that-
Let's go stand under the door. Yes. This is
I remember the first time I did it, where it was like it gets squirts you too. I was watching,
which is
Uncharted, I
horrible.
I wasn't. I don't think it was
Oh, I thought it
Uncharted.
was Uncharted.
It was. There was a movie. Where it's like
There's a thing they do that at Disney also.
and it, yeah,
you get wet. You
the
get,
alien ride. The
I
alien ride.
think
You
it is.
must hate
And-
I
that.
hate that. It's like mucus. It's
Yeah.
like a
Oh.
sneeze.
And it was like when it hit me though, like I instinctively was like turn like that, and fucking slam my head into the other side because it was I didn't expect
No.
to get splashed with water.
No, thank you.
right.
and-
And are you sure it was water?
I walked out.
That is
I
the
don't
other thing,
like.
though,
I don't like
who knows what,
moisture.
they're-
You don't know what they're spraying.
Yeah. Or like
No.
they're not cleaning out the
Yeah.
pipes or whatever in the
Listen,
chair.
you enjoy a movie. You enjoy seeing a movie. You enjoy spending time with a movie.
You get a nice
You
cup
don't
of
need
milk.
a squirter.
You get your milk and you sit down and you watch a movie, right? You don't get milk.
Fuck. You get milk at a movie?
You ever got a milk at a movie theater?
You really get milk?
He got
I got a
milk
big pint of milk.
No, you didn't.
It was, dude.
That's just stupid.
It was.
You're stupid.
You're an idiot.
What's so
Fuck you.
stupid about getting? What's so stupid about getting my favorite fucking drink?
It
at a
was
movie?
one of the more horrifying fucking.
I'm
like,
lactose intolerant. Can you imagine if like
This pussy can't even drink milk. He's talking shit to me. Where,
what do you
how
have
long
pictures?
ago-
He's looking through his Instagram. You have
know.
a milk.
I
story?
got it somewhere. I think it
Okay,
is.
I'll look. I'm gonna look on stuff too.
Okay, yeah. We'll just go on our phones. Hell of the podcast.
I have to go to my
The,
archive. I suppose.
Do you guys do other people's podcasts? Would you ever do my podcast?
I would love to.
Howie,
It's the one thing we
you
don't
had someone
do
on
very well.
recently who I was like surprised. Maybe it was Bert, but I feel like you had someone like a little more rated R, maybe rated X. Did you have like a porn star on your show recently?
Tana.
Who was it?
Tana. What's her name?
Tana
No,
Mojo?
no,
she's
not her.
Farrah Abraham.
Did you do
Farrah
Farrah?
Abraham?
Yeah.
Backdoor Teen Mom?
Yeah, but you know why I thought she was on? Because I had the girl on that sold farts in a jar.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that was
And
it.
then I
Look at
read
you.
that Farrah was gonna sell shit in a jar.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
she
yeah.
said it's a fat. It wasn't.
Well, first of all, cease and desist. Get out of our lane. That's our territory. Get off our block, or there's going to be problems. Second of all, I got in a little bit of trouble with, or almost did, because Farrah like said she was doing that, and all the headlines like said that, and then she was like, "I'm not actually doing that, and I'm going to sue you." And I was like, "Well, all right. If you're not doing it, but you told everybody you were doing it."
no, she said that was a leak. No pun intended.
No, there was a fucking video. I watched it. She was like, "I've got this little like cotton ball."
Do you think
I
she was
wiped
just
it,
tune to
put it
sell
in."
like fart in a jar, and then it
And
was a
some
chart?
of it went a little too far. Yeah. Look,
Oh,
this
you know what?
is-
You can sell now shit on a sheet. The Amber Heard collection.
This was my milk at the movie theater. I don't see the
Are
problem.
you
I don't
serious?
see the problem, man. I don't
That
see the
is
problem.
crazy.
You're crazy.
But it's crazy because I've been to, you know, I'm a lot older than you, so I've probably been to more movies than you've been to. You know, I see the gummies, I see the popcorn, I see all the soft drinks. I have not seen milk.
When I was
do they serve it
surprised-
out of a? Go ahead.
I was surprised by it, the people on the internet were like, "What are you, an idiot? Like, kids go to movies." And I was like, "Well, what the hell does that mean?" I've been to movies as a child. I've never once gotten a glass of milk.
Yeah,
It's not a
I've
thing.
never seen that.
No.
I've never
It's
seen
an amazing
that.
place.
You don't want to
Alamo
go to an
Draft House.
adult theater. And everybody behind you has a white mustache.
Have you ever been to an adult theater?
Yeah.
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 Well,
my dad was a
Whoa, hang
proprietor
on.
of a strip club.
no way.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be. It was a bar, but sometimes there was no band to book. So
I
he
love the
would
way you
book-
tried to dress that up. That was the proprietor of a strip bar. Like,
What- how did I dress
he
it
owns
up
a
for
titty
pride?
club.
Yeah.
He did, well, it wasn't. I went one time. He had this thing. He had a great sense of humor. So it was. I went to his
At least
club
one
one
of
time.
you do.
See what he did there. Anyway, he had this. I remember the one dancer because I was like 8. It scarred me forever. But her name was Princess Glow.
That's a good
And
one.
he had this bar in Canada, it was in Stratford, Ontario. If you know nothing about Stratford, Ontario, it is the epitome in North America of the Shakespearean Theatre Festival. So he was counter-programming.
Yeah.
Yes. and he had Princess Glow was 350 pounds at least.
Oh, my God.
Would climb into a giant bubble bath in a giant champagne glass.
Yeah.
And then she'd climb out, not gracefully, and just walk around the room and drop her wet, soapy tit on bald people's heads. And I remember standing at the back of the room with my dad and him saying, "Son, one day this can all be yours."
What a routine. What do you do for a living? I drop tits on my big tits on bald heads.
I would love
specifically.
that. I'd shave my head for
Just
that.
for that.
That's why I did. It's been since I was a kid. I couldn't wait to shave my head, and I haven't gotten one tit on my head since.
You got to go see Princess Glow. She's the only one who does it.
I think
anybody
she's
starts
dead.
messing
I think
with that.
Princess is gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm old. I was just a baby then. That's like 60 years ago. I was probably 7,
Seeing that.
8, or 9.
I tell a story.
Wait, how old are you?
I'll be 67 this year.
Shit.
I know. That's what I say
You
every
look great.
time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's what's in your diapers.
What a
Every
condescending
fucking-
thing to say.
Coming from you, that means so much. The man whose face looks like knees, or his knees look like
These are the
face.
faces. Yeah.
No, I was right the first time.
You do look good for your age, though. I would not have guessed
Thank
that
you.
at all.
I always, when they go for your age, the caveat, I've gone to the point where a compliment is not even a
Oh,
compliment.
we get that so much, man.
But you guys are, you are so smart for a stupid man.
we
had
get all the
with-
time.
with the story, the Chrissy Mack thing with Bert this morning.
Oh, this was a great one. Let me
and
read
so-
that word for word.
Someone sent a tweet.
You talked to
me.
Bert already this morning?
No, just reposted his story because he posted the picture of Chrissy Mack telling the story of
Okay.
the blowjob, and someone replied to me, and I was like, I forgot how pathetic it sounded.
Yeah, so John said, "This is unbelievable. All this time, and I never put together how pathetic she thought I was. I thought this was a cute little thing."
Right.
This guy, random dude, replies, "Honestly, if you told me that Feidelberg did something lame to try to get a blowjob from Christy Mack, this is actually one of the least embarrassing things it could have been. So it's 50-50 whether she thought it was cool or not." And it probably went the other way because of how you look.
Like that last line, I was like, bro,
Why,
Like,
man?
He said it so
Hit
casually.
and
like,
slap
yeah,
and
yeah.
kick.
Like
probably
all
went
all
the
of these
other
things
way.
that's like kind of nice, and then being like, but it probably failed because you're ugly. Man, we get it all the time.
But you guys go. You do my podcast. It's called Howie Mandel Does Stuff. We'll do it.
well,
and you
don't
can
tell
do
me.
it.
You know, you can ask me. Don't tell
No,
me. to do
no,
it.
you can tell.
Well, I already
Howie,
asked.
can
You
tell
said
me.
sure.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Sound
this
like
after?
I didn't
Was
like
I
your
not here
tone.
10 minutes
Do
ago?
my podcast.
I
Like,
would-
well,
Did he
maybe.
not say do it?
Yeah, I would. Howie, I'd like to do it.
Can I ask you something? And I don't care because I'm vaxxed and boosted, but there are two of your employees or team
Team.
You
in
should've
the room.
masked up.
One is maskless
He said
and one
he was
is
like
masked
he said maybe I should mask up, and then he didn't do it.
But
you know why?
did.
He doesn't
What's the
respect
difference
you.
between that guy and that guy?
He respects you. He doesn't.
That one had a mask.
Fuck you.
Nick is the consummate professional. The three of us morons.
Wait, but I
I
wanna
just had
hear-
COVID, so I feel like invincible.
Oh,
Yeah. Once you had it,
I just had it.
I had a buddy
2 weeks
who was
ago.
a bigger guy, and he would always say that when he was like our first friend to get COVID, and like this is 3 years ago when it was really hot.
We were
And-
scared for a moment when he
three-
had it.
Yeah.
3 years ago,
2 years
it wasn't.
ago.
No, but he had it before even Wuhan.
Yeah.
But he did get it pretty early. That was scary.
And he would always say that. He'd be like, "You guys want me to run to the store? I'm invincible." And we'd be like, "God damn you, dude! You're not invincible. Shut up." But wait, I want to hear more. I want to do the podcast. Howie Mandel Does Stuff. I also want to hear more about the Farrah interview because that, like, what is
she?
Howie Mandel and Farrah?
She
Abraham
brought her
talk about?
daughter.
She brought her daughter.
Yeah, she brought her daughter, which is famous. You know, that's how she got famous, right?
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
So her daughter's
God, what's
probably
her daughter?
Daughter's
20?
probably like 15 years old. Yeah.
13.
No, maybe 15 or
Yeah.
13. Sophie, I think is her name. She's a
probably
cute little
trying to,
kid.
like, get in
It's
the
kind of
game.
tragic. You know that story, right? She was 16 and pregnant. I think that's the show she was on,
Yeah,
right?
Teen
Is
Mom,
it-
yeah.
What? Teen
Or
Mom?
one
I
of
think
those.
it's 16 and pregnant
Yeah.
at the
Isn't
beginning.
that crazy that those shows used to like? It's kind of just like exploiting these young girls in horrible spots, and we were like, "Yeah, let's put them on TV."
Well, I'm pitching something now, 66 and shitting yourself.
You're the star.
But then the father died, right? The father died in a
Oh,
car
wow.
accident.
Did he?
Got
She was
anything
born in
funny to
09.
say now?
Fuck. We'll cut that. Yeah, she's 13. She's born
She's
in
13.
2009.
So we brought her on. I brought her on. Well, two things.
Jesus.
We brought her on because I had read the same thing you. I don't want to repeat it again because apparently she's going to be
You're gonna go.
litigious.
You'll probably not get it. We got
Why?
because I don't know. You're you and I'm me. You know.
You made that so clear. Okay. Wow. You should make a T-shirt. That is a
You're you
profound.
and
You're
I'm me.
you and I'm me. That's a great T-shirt.
I'll make it.
I know you will. So anyway, but two things. She said, number one, that she was going to sell those things, and I had just had the girl who farted in a jar, so she was going to take it one step further. So I thought. And then the other thing was she said that she was going to go into stand-up comedy. You remember that? Did you hear that?
I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
No, she did. She said she wouldn't tell me who, but a comic took her to a comedy club and had her stand up, and she's thinking of doing that. So the fact that she was gonna, poop in a jar and stand on a stage, I thought this is my wheelhouse, and I had her on. She's kind of interesting. She's an interesting human being. It's always interesting these people that were kind of manufactured by our pop culture.
Yeah.
It's not like like they had a hand in.
Right.
It's not like what you guys are doing. It's not like you're doing something that is.
They put themselves out there initially, but then it's like,
But even
whatever
they
the
did,
whatever
like,
the
even
machine turns you
with
into.
her in particular, even like the pop stars like the Britney Spears and all those, like I mean, in a
Well,
way,
no,
That's
you
not the
sign up for
same
the
thing.
show,
No.
though.
So Britney Spears was a singer. She's trying to be a pop
she
star.
Made,
but
she
she-
or
when
the,
she
or
was
the family
8, she
made the
didn't put
choice
herself
to.
out there. When she
So
was in
her,
the Mickey
so
Mouse
her
Club.
mom, so her mom put her out there to be a
Yeah.
singer and an entertainer, to be in show business. When Farrah Abraham was 15 years old, getting knocked up in the back of a car. I imagine there's like Legos everywhere. She's blowing people. You know, when she's getting knocked up and pregnant, this was not to make it in to make a name for herself.
But then her mom put her on the show to do that.
Well, they're
So-
probably like, we need to pay some bills, right? They're probably,
Right. So you know what?
which they want.
The glass half empty, glass half full. So you know what? It's horrible that this young unmarried teenager is pregnant and about to become a mother. But oh my God, MTV, let's make the most of it.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
they did. They made the most of it, and I think that whatever that does to somebody is beyond their control. For
sure.
And then that
then once the
created.
horse is out of the barn, it's-
She did not create herself.
Yeah.
We, being our culture, created her. And I'm fascinated by these people who, you know, just we kind of grew. You know,
Yeah.
we have this garden of humanity, and then we have these reality TV people who have just become whatever. It's the plant in the garden that you don't really understand, and I find really interesting.
I think the really savvy people can, you know, the Kardashians of the world and whoever can manipulate that and take it and direct it where they want.
But the
And I think some
Kardashians,
people just get swept
I know
away,
them, you know, really well, and I've known them for a long time. The Kardashians and Kris, they were savvy. They were also always entertainment.
they're driven. They wanted to get there.
Adjacent,
Right,
you know.
right.
Kim was, you know, my wife owned a clothing store in Calabasas, and Kim was originally the stylist for Paris Hilton.
Right,
And she used to come and get all the clothes from my wife. Chloe went to school with my daughter. Chloe, there was play dates with Chloe. I knew, you know, I used to go to coffee in the morning with Bruce, and when he was Bruce, and I've known Kris forever. And when I used to fill in here on Regis for Regis, what's her name? Regis and
Kelly?
No.
Kathy Lee?
Kathy Lee.
God,
Kathy
you're
Lee-
old.
I am old. Kathy Lee was has been best friends with Kris. So when she came out to LA, we used to go over to their house for dinner with Kris and the family. I knew Kendall and Kylie when they were babies.
Do you have any OJ run-ins?
I saw him that week. There was a fundraiser for the. I saw him at a fundraiser that weekend.
Jeez.
Yes. I remember I saw him at a fundraiser, and then
You're like, now that I think about it, it was that night, right at the same time. I could have been his alibi this whole time.
but that was pretty. It's pretty fascinating when you see something. I'm fascinated, even after all these years, with media, where when you talk to somebody or about somebody, and then it just blows up, and you go,
man.
"I was just there."
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And people are still fascinated by television, by podcasts, by, you know, like they'll go, "I heard you." When does this air? Do you know?
Next Tuesday?
Okay, next Tuesday. So whatever. This is Tuesday right now.
Yeah.
But you know, somebody will see me at Starbucks this morning while you're doing that, and they go, "I just heard you on Barstool Sports. How are you here?" You know, people are just amazed.
I know,
Or you were on Fallon in New York, and now you're here.
Yeah,
I know,
it's
you know,
impossible.
The Wright brothers. You may want to look it up. You know, and recording, whoever did tape. But people are fascinated, and I still am fascinated by seeing somebody a couple days before they do something.
It's
If
funny
you
to just
believe
see
he's
people in general, though. It's like people get starstruck by just looking.
Dude,
I know.
I just
In
did
the
it. I
presence
just
of
did it 2
someone.
hours ago. I just walked, not even 2 hours ago, an hour ago. I just walked by Kieran Culkin pushing his daughter in a stroller.
That's a good one.
And I was like,
Whoa.
he might be.
That's
got
got to be terrible. So Kieran
might be
Culkin, for those that don't know, has a 16-year-old daughter, and sometimes he's out on the street just pushing her into a stroller, and she's going, "Fuck you, Dad!" And he just pushes her by the back of the head, right into the stroller. I can see why you would stop.
Yeah,
and-
it
and
was.
be-
That's why it was so. He was walking really fast, and I was like, he must be late for something, or he's just an incredibly fast walker. But it was probably the daughter was trying to get out of the
I
stroller.
love that he says, "I'm still amazed by seeing famous people and, you know, celebrities and things." You just told that story, and you saw Kieran Culkin with his baby, and you're explaining to me how you were fascinated. I'm a celebrity.
Wow.
I'm aware, but I've seen you, dude. You're old hat. I've had you.
Yeah.
And I got Kieran this morning.
Yeah, you know.
Howie, I've had you like 4 times.
Yeah. We always leave him wanting more, man. You got to play hard to get.
I saw Kieran's hair blowing in the wind. Let's see your hair blow in the wind. Match that.
Well, I'll open my fly. That's it. Sometimes I'll just take off my pants and do a comb over, and you won't know that I'm bald. I'm Dick Van Winkle. Dick Punzel. Dick Punzel.
Dick Punzel. Dick Punzel's a horrifying image of
Is it?
you standing at the
If I was stuck
at the
in a
top of
tower,
unraveling your. Oh no, I'm thinking with the hair.
Braided.
It's a pube.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
What do you think he was thinking?
He said Dick. He said Dick.
No. It's just the hair.
Yeah.
I have a tiny dick covered with a huge mound of hair.
It's like a.
It's like a
dog's
you don't even
nose.
see. You can't
like
even
a little button nose.
You can't,
by the
you
dog.
can't even see the end. It's just like a hedge. It's just like a bush. I like to hide. Yeah, sometimes it comes through. Sometimes if I get really excited about something, it'll poke up through the hedges. It's like the neighbor. Oh, look, the neighbor's here.
when you go to the bathroom, do you use the zipper fly or do you unbutton all the way?
Well, first of all, it depends on.
You're at the urinal. Let's say.
Okay, let's say I'm at the urinal. Let's just say, have you ever done that? You know what I used to do before I was known, but after a movie, there's like 3 urinals beside each other just to fuck with people. There'd be 2 guys at the urinal. And once you're at the urinal, you're committed. That's it, right?
Yeah.
I'd walk in between them, shoulder to shoulder, and just start pissing on the wall between.
I thought you were saying you were using the middle urinal. You just started pissing on the floor?
There was no middle urinal. I'm saying there'd be 2. There'd be 2 guys, and then I would get in and roll down, and just really uncomfortably they go. There's no urinal. Sir. There's no urinal.
Let's slide over, dude.
What?
You would go?
Yeah.
Like pee like on the ground and everything?
Yeah.
How old were you? 55?
No, this is my 30s.
Despicable, man.
That's a savage move.
The other thing I did,
love
the
it
other
now.
thing after a movie, somebody would be at a urinal. I would go into one of the cubicles and take the paper toilet seat cover.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would take the paper toilet seat cover and I'd come out to the urinal next to them and I'd put it down on the urinal and I'd pull down my pants and sit. And the guy's going, wait, what are you doing? I go, well, I'm not gonna sit in the fucking cubicle. That's
savage.
a guy in there.
Start doing the gizmo voice while you're doing it. Excuse me, sir. You're an animal, man. We should probably go do Answer the Internet. We could do this all day long, but we want to get you doing our other video.
All right. So watch on Netflix. Bullshit on Netflix.
Which is
such a great
fun
premise.
to get to swear and play trivia games.
I love it. And not
usually
throw to
trivia's a little more-
commercials.
Yeah, right.
It was so great.
You know what I was saying is very, very good is on Netflix, the automatic trailer that kind of starts playing when you're scrolling through.
Yeah.
Does a really good job of you explaining and I just saw that and I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it
And
really
it's trending.
captures you
We're
right away.
trending. And I want to get a season 2. So can we just tell your listeners or viewers or whatever you're doing here, even if you're not interested in this show, but you have Netflix and you're going to work for the
Click
day.
it and leave it on.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then they'll go, oh, look, everybody's watching.
And they're
it
watching the whole season.
thing all day long.
Oddly enough, from
and
9
you know what?
to 5 all
And
the
you know what?
time.
And there's nothing wrong with getting picked up because of bullshit.
Right.
Nobody's watching. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
But I
The whole
think they
game
should
is
do it.
bullshit.
It really
Ratings,
is.
bullshit,
Let's live the
popularity,
dream.
bullshit,
Pick
absolutely.
it up and let's answer the internet. Isn't that another room?
Yeah, just
Yeah,
right next to
right.
it. But so wait, we got bullshit, America's Got Talent, forever and ever, and your podcast is Howie Mandel Does Things.
Yeah.
That's stuff.
Does
stuff.
And things. I'll do things and stuff.
Whatever you
all on the same day. Put on a fucking mask.
Make sure you subscribe to KFC Radio on YouTube to get all the video content. Subscribe, comment, like, and make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you know whenever new video content drops.
I want to say something, but the video has to be faster. That's it.